You can walk into a room looking perfect and still be misread before you even sit down. Picture a crowded coffee shop where a woman steps in, pauses near the counter, and scans the room for a friend. Most men in that room do not first register a specific feature. They register a signal, almost like a headline, and that headline says whether she feels open, closed, tense, warm, distant, playful, or stressed. That matters for two reasons right away. It shapes whether a conversation starts at all, and it shapes the tone of that conversation before a single deep word is spoken. It also matters because many women spend time and money optimizing details that are not actually the first thing being read. By the end, you will see what tends to arrive first in male attention, why that pattern is so persistent, and how to use it in a way that stays true to who you are. Think of attention like a club door with a bouncer who has no patience. The bouncer lets in the fastest social signals first, then checks finer details only if the first signals feel interesting and safe. Imagine you notice someone across a parking lot at dusk. You cannot make out eye color or tiny details, but you instantly read pace, posture, and direction. Is she moving with purpose, drifting, rushing, hesitating, or relaxed? Perception research consistently shows that motion and posture get processed incredibly fast because they help the brain predict intent. That quick prediction is not romance yet. It is the brain trying to answer a practical question. What is happening here? This is where a common myth falls apart. People often assume men first notice a single body part in isolation. In real social scenes, the first pass is usually broader and more functional. The brain grabs movement, emotional tone, and overall presence, then zooms in. Across eye tracking and first impression studies, faces and expressive areas pull attention quickly, but they are interpreted through the frame set by posture and energy. You can test this without guessing. Next time you are in a public place, notice what you remember from people who pass by quickly. You will probably remember someone who looked joyful, someone who seemed irritated, or someone who moved with calm confidence. Your memory keeps the emotional headline because that is what the bouncer stamped first. Now shift to a closer distance, like waiting for drinks at a party. At that range, the face becomes central almost immediately. Men, like everyone else, are highly sensitive to facial expression, especially around the eyes and mouth. A relaxed face with genuine engagement reads very differently from a guarded face, even if both people are equally attractive on paper. Controlled studies on thin-sliced judgments show people infer warmth, confidence, and trustworthiness from brief glimpses, and those inferences strongly shape interest. Notice the order again in any crowded room where first impressions happen at lightning speed. First comes vibe, then features, then story. If the vibe says cold or unavailable, many men pull back before curiosity can grow. If the vibe says kind and grounded, attention often deepens and details start to matter more. This is not about performing a fake smile. It is about how visible your actual state is in your face, shoulders, and timing. Here is another fast experiment. Think of two short clips of the same woman speaking the same sentence. In one clip, she speaks while distracted with flat tone and tight shoulders. In the other, she speaks with present eye contact, natural expression, and a little vocal warmth. Most viewers describe the second version as more attractive, even though clothing, makeup, and words never changed. A woman named Maya once told me she felt invisible on dates and blamed her appearance for months. She kept changing style details and still got the same lukewarm reactions. One evening, after a draining workday, she arrived at a friend's birthday already tense, expecting another awkward night. At the table, she asked a man one curious question about the book he was holding, then listened like she actually wanted the answer. Her posture softened, her face animated, and her laughter came out naturally because she stopped monitoring herself. The shift was immediate. Conversation flowed for an hour, then extended into a walk, then into a second meeting. Maya did not transform her face or body in one night. She changed the first signal the bouncer received by becoming openly curious and emotionally present. Her presence communicated interest and ease, and that opened the gate for everything else. Large bodies of relationship research keep landing on a similar point. Initial attraction includes visual impression, but sustained interest rises when people perceive warmth, responsiveness, and emotional stability. Men often report being drawn to physical beauty first, yet their real choices in repeated interactions are strongly shaped by how they feel around someone. Do they feel judged, drained, soothed, challenged, respected, or genuinely energized by her presence? Those felt outcomes often matter more than checklist details in real relationships. Another misconception deserves a clean and careful correction before anyone oversimplifies this idea. This is not a message claiming that looks do not matter at all. Looks matter, grooming matters, and personal style can absolutely amplify confidence in social settings. The correction is about sequence and weighting, not denial of visual attraction. The first notice thing is usually not a single static feature in isolation. It is the emotional and behavioral signal carried by movement, face, and voice together. Voice is a bigger part of this than most people realize. Before words are fully analyzed, tone already communicates mood, intention, and social comfort. A warm, steady tone tends to read as grounded and approachable. A rushed or brittle tone can read as stress, even when someone is perfectly kind. Try one practical check the next time you are getting ready for a social event. Say the same opening line out loud 3 ways: rushed, neutral, and warm. Then choose the version that sounds most like your best natural self, not a performance. You are not manufacturing a persona that hides who you are from others. You are choosing which real signal reaches the bouncer first. There is also a subtle layer people rarely discuss, and that is congruence. Men notice when pieces match, and they notice when they do not. If someone is dressed boldly but speaks like she wants to disappear, the mismatch creates confusion. If someone is dressed simply but carries clear presence, the match creates coherence. Brains love coherence because coherence feels predictable, and predictable often feels safe. Safety is not a trivial side note in attraction. Every person is running quick risk assessments in social settings, often outside awareness. Men do this too, though the cues they prioritize may differ by context and personality. When a woman signals calm boundaries, social intelligence, and authentic interest, many men read that as high value in a deep sense. It signals that connection with her might feel good, not chaotic. At this point, you might wonder where physical features fit in this sequence of attention. They still matter, but usually as amplifiers after the gate opens. Once attention is engaged, men may notice hair, style, symmetry, or specific features they personally prefer. The faster route is to make your first signal clear, coherent, and real. The best part is that this is trainable without becoming fake. Better sleep often softens facial tension and makes emotional cues easier to read. Slower breathing usually steadies vocal tone and reduces rushed delivery under pressure. Genuine curiosity naturally changes eye contact and makes conversation feel mutual. Comfortable clothes you actually like can improve posture and reduce distracted self-monitoring. None of that requires pretending, and all of it affects what gets noticed first. Remember the coffee shop doorway from the beginning, and picture that moment one more time. The bouncer at the door was never judging tiny details first. He was scanning for the quickest answer to a social question. What does it feel like to come closer? When that answer feels warm, grounded, and clear, attention opens naturally and attraction has room to grow. What men notice first is often your emotional signal in motion, and that is powerful because it is the part you can shape without betraying yourself.